we're more than, just the product. My name is Jonathan Hughes. I'm an ambulatory care pharmacist. I am also our service lines ambulatory care pharmacy manager, where I oversee a team of pharmacists who provide care to patients in the outpatient clinics. I am also our program director over our PGY2 residency. So my day-to-day varies. I have some days in clinic, so 2 days a week I still am in clinic, seeing patients, providing care under a collaborative practice agreement. So under that CPA, I get to prescribe medications, adjust medication therapy, order labs, make evaluations for those chronic conditions that are under my scope. And I do that all day long. We see a good number of patients. I'm always shooting to see about 16 patients a day. So I do that 2 days out of the week. The other 2 days out of my week are administrative in those managing and directorship roles. My favorite thing that I do is probably the teaching aspect in all of those hats that I wear, whether that is with patients, students, residents, even other people leaders that I work with. When I'm able to explain something that wasn't understood, whether that's medication therapy that wasn't working well, a disease process that a patient didn't quite have insight into, a pharmacologic or therapeutic thing that a student didn't previously get. You can see it in their eyes, and that is something that always is a bucket filler for me. Whenever you can see it in someone's eyes that they get it. A skill that is probably common to everyone in our profession is attention to detail and a desire to show compassion and to reach out to help others. I think what differentiates us from other disciplines is a detailed, organized knowledge of medication therapy and how we can utilize that as tools to help patients with acute and chronic conditions that they have. So I first found out about pharmacy working in a research internship at the UNC Chapel Hill Pharmacogenetics lab. And this happened to be a lab where a lot of PharmDs were coming back to get their PhD. I was really interested in pharmacogenetics, but I was also looking for a way that I could practically apply that knowledge and understanding of biology and pharmacology. And so a wonderful grad student who had just graduated from pharmacy school said, you really ought to shadow some of these pharmacists that I got to work with. And so she set up 4 shadowing experiences for me throughout this internship. Totally not part of my internship, nothing that she had to do. But I was just blown away by the various people that I interviewed there. So that's what led me to apply to pharmacy school. And then probably the next step on that path was getting to meet my residency program director for both my years of residency, Sean McFarland, who of course has been a big voice within TPA. And I got to see Sean at the ACCP annual meeting, my 4th year of pharmacy school, and listen to him describe the interventions that he and his team were making at the VA within ambulatory care. And just having that ownership and that personal responsibility was something that was really intriguing to me, and something that I felt would really use my skills and passions and knowledge in a tangible way to help patients. The other element of it was the long-term relationships. I wanted a career and a pathway within pharmacy that have a different day every day, where I wasn't just doing the same thing every day. But what differentiated ambulatory care from emergency medicine or critical care wasn't the rigor of the clinical skills needed, but more that long-term relationship of getting to know someone over several years. I think it's important to be self-aware and have self-introspection into your skills, your personalities, what interests you. But I think another thing is having a calling and a vision beyond a paycheck. And I think that's very true for a lot of people within our profession. There's going to be a part of any job, and our profession is no different. That's not fun some days. I do a lot of really interesting, cool things that get students' attention. But I always try to highlight for them, there's parts of my job that are hard, and you have to have a calling. You have to have a vision that's more than just a paycheck to be able to get through those days. One thing that we have identified as a problem in our profession is aligning payment structures from payers to the services that we render We are more than just the product, and there's probably more artful ways to say that. But the cognitive services, the professional care, the opinions and evaluations that we render, the education we provide, is in a large way not reimbursed by our health system. And so something that may surprise someone who doesn't know me is the role I've played in advocating for how to implement that in our state. We are more.